All right, welcome to this unscheduled stream for this Saturday evening. Welcome to Linux Newbies number 2. I don't know how many people will come on. This was scheduled at the last minute. My plans changed this evening. What a beautiful day here in Ohio. Sunny, dry. It felt like San Diego weather. I got my friend CD playing here in the background. Wonderful singer from Pittsburgh. So, again, this is very late notice, story of my life. I don't know how many people will jump on. If you are new to this and you're watching this on the replay, welcome. If you are a Linux newbie, a Linux beginner, coming from Windows, you come to the right place. I've been doing this for 9.5 years now. On YouTube, I've been dabbling in Linux since 2006 as a Windows user, so I know a little bit about Linux. I'll give this a few minutes, see if anybody else jumps on. I want to thank all the supporters of the channel. Some of you know I bought a Linux product, a Fire Tablet number 8 that I've been testing. I did a live show about this. Thank you. All the PayPal supporters. I also got a Chromebook, my very first Chromebook, and I can tell you that is a superb Linux product. I use the Chromebook and I don't want to use anything else. It's an Acer Chromebook 15. So again, thanks to the community for sponsoring those products. I will have a chat about Chromebook, my first Chromebook soon. Maybe a live stream, maybe a tutorial about my first Chromebook. And Chromebooks rock. All the Windows users who still say Linux sucks, take a look at a Chromebook. They're awesome. I mean, that thing boots up in 7 seconds. It shuts down in 7 seconds. It does updates in the background, and it's superb. And it's just a lower end $200 machine. Very impressive for a Linux product. I would have no problem with Chromebooks being a Linux standard, in my opinion, based on my brief tests. So I'm still learning the Chromebook. So anyway, thank you to all the supporters. Check out the links below in the show notes if you would like to sponsor a live event or a product or support the channel. It's because of you that I am here. Let me go to the live chat here. Again, I know this was short notice. My apologies. I can't do this full time. I wish I could. Check emails. Supporters of the channel, you are invited. STS is in the house. T Netro P. Jan. Hello, Jan. Love that name, Jan Topper. And Ansem. Hi, Ansem. Yes, Chromebooks are awesome. I know you have a few. Yeah, the one I've been testing, it's impressive. It is really, really impressive for a lower end Chromebook. I love using it. In the 2 days I've been doing it or so, very impressive. I can imagine what the Pixelbook does, you know, with 16 gigs of RAM and a higher end processor. Very impressive with the Chromebook. And you know, when I was first playing with it, I'm like, when is this going to do the updates? It's running so smooth. When is it going to do the updates? So I checked. Oh, the updates are done already. See, like it does it in the background, and that's how it should be. Updates should not get in my way, right? And some of you have Chromebooks, so you know what I'm talking about. But I'm impressed. I've been able to get 10 hours of use out of that thing, more or less continuous use out of the Chromebook. It is awesome. So again, thanks to all of the community members. Again, check out the links below in the show notes if you want to contribute to this world-class community. And I mean that as a Windows user, you guys are world-class. Hi, Kenny. There is some breaking news, and I don't know how to say it. It sucks. It's not good. Valve is dropping gaming support, Steam support for Ubuntu. What's Ubuntu? Only the most popular, one of the most popular Linux operating systems in the world, that's all. They're dropping support. Why do I even do this? It's because of you guys and all the billion Windows users that are still afraid to try Linux. That's why I do this. I'm not blaming Ubuntu. Ubuntu still rocks. Ubuntu Mate is what I use. I have regular Ubuntu. My other machine, I have Ubuntu flavors like Linux Mint, Zorin that I use. That decision is dumb. Anyway, it's just my opinion. What's wrong with Peppermint 10? Those speakers in that Chromebook are fantastico. Those speakers should be Linux standard in all laptops. All of them. Not just Linux. They just rock, you know. Might as well see if my Amazon tablet needs some updates. Because of this tablet, I'm actually reading books again. I bought a couple Kindle books. I bought a James Bond book called Carte Blanche that I'm starting to get into. And I bought something else. I forget what it's called. But I'm actually reading again. Imagine that, reading. Who would have thunk it? I usually read at night to help me fall asleep. Yeah, the last Peppermint OS I tested seemed okay. Brief test. Newski. Newski, I guess you're new to all this? Yes, Ubuntu announced it will be dropping 32-bit binary. Since most game developers were originally focused on Windows, they would have to go the extra mile to rewrite for 64-bit. Maybe, I guess, but there's no reason to drop Ubuntu. If it wasn't for Ubuntu, I probably wouldn't be here. It's not a good decision. This is my opinion. Well, no company, no entity can continue supporting an outdated platform. And you know, 32-bit has been around how long now? 64-bit since came around in existence since 2007-ish. You know, they have to make this decisions. Companies have to make money decisions, people resource decisions. Valve should not have done that. You ordered the Google Stadia Founders Edition, so you might not need Linux. Might not need Linux to play games. Okay. Google has the resources, so you know they've built the perfect Linux machine in the Chromebook, so why not? Cat Gamer. Yeah, that Valve decision is well. What are you gonna do? Gaming on Windows is alive and well. Long live the Master Chief. I saw the trailer for the next Halo game. It rocks. Ubuntu will also be incompatible with Wine and numerous. I don't use Wine. I think it's pointless. I've tried to use Wine. It does not work for me. My opinion, if you need to use Windows apps, then use Windows. Just use Windows. Just like if you need to use open source applications, Linux, use Linux. If you need Mac apps, use Mac. So I cannot blame Ubuntu on this. Ubuntu is the #1 Linux distribution, more or less, that has grabbed Windows users like me, grabbed them, say, hey, try this. Hi Switch, that's where Windows wins because of their commitment to backward compatibility. Ubuntu did that for cost. They don't want to keep hosting libraries and maintaining. It's expensive. Look, for all the newbies out there, Linux is everywhere. No, I mean really. You have an Android phone, Fire Tab, a Google tablet, Samsung. I mean, the list goes on and on. Your car, a GPS, the International Space Station, supercomputers, it's everywhere, literally everywhere, except on a desktop. On a desktop, for consumers generally, right now, the Linux desktop right now generally sucks for computers because you cannot walk into a store and just buy a system, except for Chromebooks, which is perfectly fine if you are web-centric. But in terms of like a normal computer and having choices, they just non-existent. And that's where I think the potential to grab those billion Windows users, like Ubuntu grabbed me to say, hey, try this. If you don't like it, that's cool, but try it. That's where the potential for Linux is. If you are new to all of this, and in many ways, Linux is much better than Windows, much better than Mac, in many ways. If you could walk into a store and buy a freaking machine, take it home, show it to the wife, your honey, your partner, your mom, mom and dad and kids, say, hey, look at this. My friend so-and-so bought a Chromebook and it's so fast and this and that. It does updates in the background, a 10-hour battery life, 12-hour battery life. I mean, that's the power of Linux. So there is a market, a potential market for Linux desktop for the masses, such as there is a market for gaming. But Valve dropping Steam for Ubuntu is not good. Yeah, use what works for you. If you need a Windows app, then use Windows. That is the only way to guarantee that it's going to work. If you really are a gamer, just use Windows. Yeah. I mean, gaming has come a long way in Linux. But still, when you think about it, it really can't compete with Windows yet, in my opinion. And with that, Valve dropping Steam support for Ubuntu, it's I don't know, maybe that'll change. I don't know. I don't game as much as I used to, so really for me it has zero effect. But to have a gaming platform lost for a major OS like Ubuntu, now I got to tell Windows users, well, gaming is kind of there. It ain't. It's, yeah. VM Arch low spec computer equals crash. Okay. Do you think Steam would release a version that comes with binaries that Ubuntu is no longer supporting? I would have to say no. Yeah, would that be too much work? It comes down to resources. Newski. Linux in general is not a profitable subject. The only company that has done well with Linux products is Google. Now, of course, they make their money more in advertising, which gives them the funding to fund the terrific Chromebooks. But Linux by itself in general, at least not yet, is not a profitable subject. These live streams and all these videos I do, I put no money in my pocket. I do it because I still believe in Linux and I love talking to you guys. But you can't ask a company to tell its employees to work for free. So yes, Red Hat and Suzy did pretty well financially. Yep. But it's not because of a Linux desktop for consumers. At least I don't think so. Oh, you're welcome, Newski. I mean, I hope this changes gaming, gaming in Linux, because that's part of the future of Linux. But we have to, someone, somewhere, and I don't care who it is, Google, Canonical, Red Hat, put a Linux machine in a freaking store like Walmart, Best Buy, the post office. $400. Put them there and let the consumer try it, and let them do the talking. It's gonna sell. It's been proven. Chromebooks sell. $100 Chromebooks sell. $100. You know. I feel like I need the fire behind me, like switch to Linux. Rawr! Let's get switching here. I just saw myself in the delay screaming. I'm usually more normal in this. Haha. All right, Switch. Let's get you in here. There is some encouraging news. Zorin OS, after 6 years, 7 years, they have a contract with a manufacturer in the UK to make Zorin machines, Zorin laptops. From what I read briefly, and I could be wrong, the machines you'll be able to buy a Zorin Linux machine, which is awesome, for, I believe the low end one is about $450, and there's a high end one for about $800. I don't have all the specs yet, but Zorin OS, great for a beginner. So there is some encouraging news that $450 is close to the sweet spot for a Windows user to buy a Linux machine starting off, besides a Chromebook. So it's encouraging to see Zorin partner with a company. We just got to get them in stores. So mom and pop on the weekends when they're off work with their kids, they can walk into a store, touchy feel it. So that's encouraging you. But check out Zorin OS News. It's awesome. Can you run a printer with a Chromebook? I believe you can. I believe there's the app called what's it called? I think there's one app called Cloud Print. Again, the Chromebook is still new to me, so I apologize. But yes, I believe you can print on a Chromebook. I won't be doing any printing on a Chromebook. I just like to take the laptop with me and play music, catch up on videos. I mean, that all-day battery life. As much as I love my ThinkPads, they suck compared to that Chromebook. And ThinkPads rock. But man, compared to that Chromebook, they're like, I'll throw up. Anyway, Cloud Print, yeah. And I'm sure there's other apps. I've tested. I haven't tested printing, but I tested installing Linux apps. That's experimental. Some work and some don't. I tested USB Creator. I was able to download and create a Linux Mint USB bootable stick on a Chromebook. It took forever because the one I have is a little slow, but it worked. Stable. Well, what else did I test? I haven't tested live streaming yet. I think it has enough horsepower. It's a dual core with 2 gigs. I will try. I think it'll have enough juice. But I mean, that 10 to 12 hour battery life. Oh man. Hi, Switch. But yeah, if you are a Linux newbie and you want the best Linux experience.
How's that? Hey, I see my
Good, good. Welcome, Switch. We have Switch to Linux in the house, Thomas. So yeah, I was just saying for Linux newbies, if you're curious and you want to buy the best Linux experience that's stable and that's affordable, that's web centric, definitely check out a Chromebook. I love mine. Hello, Robert. Welcome.
All right, let's see.
So yeah, Switch. Valve is dropping Steam support for Ubuntu. Oh joy,
That's
that sucks,
interesting.
to say the least.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is probably the biggest base for it.
Yeah. Right.
Did they say why?
Not really. That's like breaking news within like just from today. So I don't know all the particulars. It's bad. It's really bad for gamers, for the Linux community
Yeah.
platform. But things can change in this business, so we'll see.
Didn't Pizza say because of the lack of 32-bit support? Because
That
of
may be part of it, but you can't have a company like Canonical supporting outdated 32-bit for you.
it has nothing to do with how the computer's built. It has to do with the infrastructures it can run. You can have a 64-bit computer that can still run 32-bit systems.
That's true, yes.
What Ubuntu is doing is they're dropping the ability to do anything 32-bit at all. That's where the problem is, because Windows, still 64, can still backtrack and do 32.
That's true.
So Valve, being a gaming type system, a lot of things with Windows, dropping 32 bit's a big deal.
All right.
So maybe this dropping 32-bit is a much bigger deal than we're thinking.
Okay. My guess is this is my guess. Now I'm thinking as a business person, to support 32-bit and everything else is probably too expensive. That's why they are doing. If I had to guess, I could be wrong. I'm not on the inside. I haven't spoken to Alan Pope.
To curate a 32-bit package manager base, yes, would be expensive. But to be able to support a 32-bit application, not really.
Well, we'll have to get Alan Pope on a show one of these days and see what he says. I haven't heard both sides, the whole story. But if it wasn't for Ubuntu, I wouldn't be here. Probably a lot of Windows users. I'm going to side with Ubuntu for now, but things can change. Look, all the newbies watching, this might be gibberish to you. What's Valve and what's Steam? No, it's not a steam iron. It's not a water valve. Hi, Vince.
Hey, guys. Popey was just on Biddle for basically the last hour explaining all of this. Yeah.
Let me guess. It's because of resources, money, time, money.
Yeah, that was a big reason.
Right,
but I think he copped a lot of flack from everyone.
Look, I'm trying to balance between a Linux fan and putting myself in the mind of a business owner, and there's a balance. There's a tightrope balance, and I get it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, as a web developer, I don't support Internet Explorer because none of us do. Despite some people still have to run it. And like I have a client right now that, because of the nature of their business, they do have a lot of government work, which means a lot of their people are looking at the site on that. So I have to just double check the code base. And I do, unfortunately, have to look at it in Internet Explorer just to make sure things work. But again, though, talking about 32-bit old computers is a completely different thing than a 32-bit application. And because those are two completely different things. If my guess is, Vince, that's what people on Biddle were talking about, is it?
Yeah, just support for 32-bit applications.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll get Alan on a one-on-one. I haven't done a one-on-one with Alan since last year. He's a very friendly chap, very informative, understanding. Maybe I'll get him on one of these Skype things. We'll talk privately, have him explain it. Like I said, I don't have the whole story. I could be wrong, but for now, we'll side with Ubuntu. For now. No, I'm not being sponsored by Ubuntu or nothing. In fact, I got to pay back Ubuntu's bribe. I got to give it back. No, just kidding. Those $2. Just joking.
Apparently, there are about 160 gigs of 32-bit libraries they have to keep.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Kenny, why is it crazy that some Chromebooks cost more than Windows 10 laptops? What do you mean by crazy? I love my Chromebook. I can imagine how fast or more zippy that I have a low-end Chromebook, a 15-inch Chromebook by Acer. Front-firing speakers that are this big. I mean, they're awesome. That thing boots in 7 seconds, and it only has 2 gigs. I can't imagine the Pixel book with 16 gigs. It probably has a proximity alert on the power. You don't even have to touch the power button; it comes on. You know, that's my guess. But I believe you cannot upgrade RAM or hard drive in Chromebooks. I don't think they were designed that way. Mine, you can't do that, but that really doesn't bother me. No. All I know is that the one I got works. It's not the zippiest, but it's stable. You know, I had to check if it was actually doing updates because the system was running way too smooth and no interruptions like Windows. And it actually did all the updates. So, the unfortunate thing is that for some companies, running outdated stuff adds a layer of security. Okay? I don't know. There'll probably be more talk about this Valve thing, dropping Ubuntu, but I don't know. That's the next controversy, I guess. Honestly, like I said, I don't do a lot of gaming, so it's not that big of a deal for me. But it's generally speaking, I think it's not good.
Yeah. Overall, I'm not a gamer either, but if the major gaming platform that everybody knows about is not supported on Ubuntu, that's a huge hit for Linux.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. Kenny says that is not good that you can't upgrade a Chromebook. Well, I know you can't upgrade Macs. They kind of lock you up, but we all know Macs are overpriced. I don't think Chromebooks are overpriced. I mean, like I said, they start at $100. And then go up to the Pixelbook, which is $1,500. So I don't have a problem with Chromebooks being non-upgradable because Google will guarantee support for at least 5 years or more. They don't slow down over time. Updates are in the background, and they are. They're secure. They run Android apps well. Linux apps experimental. So because of what they do, I'm not too concerned about not be able to upgrade a Chromebook. Now, if I bought a $2,000 Mac and I was stuck with it, that would kind of bother me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. So, yeah. In this situation, I'll let Chromebooks slide that you can't upgrade them, only because they are priced right. You do get what you pay for, unlike the Macs. So.
All right, I do have Virtual Machine with Arch working on there right now. I just had to dump through YouTube.
Where's the frying pan?
It's just because this computer is just so low spec, and and also I never boosted up the VRAM and the VM, and I think that crashed the system.
Okay. All Linux newbies who want to try Arch, if you need help, just send your emails to switch to Linux, and he can answer all the questions.
I'm just gonna reply the email and say go to Mint instead.
Okay.
I like Arch. It's just don't use Arch as a newbie.
No, don't.
It's a very good system now. I mean, I don't have any real complaints with it. Like I said,
it's great for advanced users, power users, to make it the system your own. But for starting off, it's just overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just, the only reason I had an issue is because, I wanted to do a distro review of PC Linux OS because it looks compelling. It just won't run on the virtual machine that I have on my...
I used the PC Linux OS for a year in one of my older ThinkPads, and it was stable. It was absolutely stable. It reminded me of Debian Stable, not the newest packages, but they just worked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's using apt, isn't it? Does it have apt as a package manager?
No, it's RPM. PC Linux OS, I believe it's RPM.
It's based on Mandriva.
It might be, yes. I haven't used it since last year, but I think so. No, I mean, if you want stability, PC Linux OS, it rocks. Yeah. Kenny says you can upgrade the RAM in the MacBook and an SSD. Really? I thought they were locked out.
It depends on the version.
Okay.
The newer MacBooks, the memory and everything is soldered onto it.
That's what I thought, because our friend Stephanie was complaining about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Older MacBooks, yes, you can swap the SSD.
Okay.
Swap the RAM. Older MacBooks, you can do that.
Okay.
iMacs, if you're extremely careful, because you have to literally take the whole front screen off to do it. RAM and the SSD, I believe, are replaceable. I know the RAM is. I don't know if
I think it was from the Retina MacBooks. From then on, you couldn't upgrade anything.
Yeah, I think 2016 and on, you can't upgrade at least the SSD, and I'm pretty sure the RAM too.
Okay. I mean, I probably will never buy a Mac. I mean, if somebody wants to sponsor buying a MacBook, and but there is no compelling reason for me to buy. I mean, everything I need to do right now, I can do in Windows, Linux, and in my Chromebook now. At least I will test it. I haven't done a live stream yet from the Chromebook, but I will give it a... Maybe I'll do like an unlisted video, do a quick test. But I really don't need a Mac. Newski says they soldered stuff up in the newer Macs. Okay. Well, yeah, there's that MacTuber YouTuber, Louis Rossman, who's not too happy about Macs. And I saw his video. I guess his girlfriend needs help with her Mac, and he was like, "What's this?" That was a good one. I was like, "Oops." Oh man. I guess if maybe if Macs were priced better. I mean, they are reliable and they are stable, from what I understand. But
one of their biggest issues is for how expensive they are. I mean, they use old hardware. I mean, even the newest Mac now is still old hardware.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. They're like the Mac Mini that I have, which is not one of the new ones. The Mac Mini I have, it actually has the same processor specs as my work Windows computer, which I bought 10 years ago.
Okay.
And that one is only 4 or 5 year old Mac. So it's the last line they made before they just refreshed the Mac Minis. Mine's the model line right before that. And the specs, the processor is, in fact, it only has 4 gigs of RAM, if I remember correctly.
Now, the one thing about Chromebooks, what I read, you only get, that may change, guaranteed 5-year support. But if that support ends, that doesn't mean that you cannot continue to use your Chromebook, from what I read. So you can possibly let it extend that for 10 years. But honestly, if you buy any system and you get guaranteed 5-year support, is that so bad? I don't think so. I'm not going to spend $4,000 on a Mac, no. But a $1,500 Pixelbook, probably.
I saw a funny article about the new Mac Pro, the one that looks like a cheese grater. Somebody somebody actually, because they're not out yet, somebody 3D printed the front of the and so they actually tried to grate cheese with it, but it wasn't very good as a cheese grater. They trashed it. Okay.
It does look. I mean, what are the Mac people? All those designers, hey, let's make it look like we got like a Parmesan cheese.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're an older one jumped on, and it was it looked like a trash can. They got the trash can. They got the cheese grater.
True.
Hi guys.
Hey Ben.
How's it going?
Anyway,
what discussion did I jump into?
Mac.
Everything.
It's right up your alley.
World peace, nuclear power. No. We were talking about, well, this is Linux Newbies too, so welcome all the Linux Newbies who watch this and on the replay. We're talking about Valve and Steam dropping Ubuntu support. We're talking about Chromebooks. I haven't done a live stream yet from the Chromebook. I'm loving my Linux, well, Amazon, I guess you call it Linux tab, my 8-inch tab. It's because of this I'm actually reading books again. I have two Kindle books downloaded, a James Bond book and something else,
Yeah. So what's this I hear about Macs?
Man, you're the Mac master. Yeah.
We're all switching to Macs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, really.
No, we were talking about, we have our friend Kenny saying he wouldn't buy a Chromebook because you can't upgrade the RAM or the hard drive. But for $200 and it works, is it really that bad? Now, if you buy a $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 Mac and you can't do the upgrades, that's not a good deal. So
no, it's not.
It's not. It just isn't.
I bought my my Lenovo S21e, which I think you can still get. I think I paid just $100 for it. I had installed Peppermint 7 on it when Peppermint 7 was new. So That's a computer that's how old is that now? 2-3 years old. Things perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I mean, no issues at all.
And there is an announcement, Ben, that Zorin OS, they partnered with a computer maker in the UK. You'll be able to buy Zorin laptops starting at about $450, a little high, but that's close to the sweet spot, so we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how well they sell.
Yeah,
Zorin OS, what is it, 15, the Ultimate?
Yeah, it's $15 for the Ultimate Edition. Yeah.
Love it, yeah.
Well, that's
Jonathan says a Chromebook can be upgraded. How? If it's soldered on? I guess if you know what you're doing, but I'm not going to do it.
Desolder it, of course,
Yeah, you'd have to resolder it.
Yeah. I'm not going to be doing that. I'll just keep it the way it is. Kenny says some Chromebooks cost over $400, and they're worth it. The Pixelbook, which starts at about, I've seen them refurbished for as low as $599. That is the only Linux machine that you can buy on the market that's been described as flawless. The only Linux machine that I've read that's been described as flawless. Think about it. And they start at $600. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
Santiago Munoz. Hola. ¿Cómo está usted?
Well,
¿Te gusta Linux? I'm trying to work on my Spanish. Ubuntu es muy bueno.
Yes.
How are you, Santiago? Welcome. Yeah, I mean, if you know what you're doing, I suppose you can upgrade a Chromebook. You will void the warranty, of course, if you take it apart. I have no interest in that personally. Again, because I didn't spend $3,000 or $4,000 on it. So.
Yeah.
No, I love mine. I mean, all-day battery life. It's like I was saying, man. I want to take all my ThinkPads and put them in the garbage now. I won't do that, but.
Yeah, but when you want to actually install a different version of Linux, then.
Well, ThinkPad's good for testing Linux. I will say that.
Yeah.
I guess you can. I guess once the 5-year support is up on the Chromebook, you can install the. Was it a Cloud Ready for the Chromebooks? The Chromium OS. I guess you could do that. But honestly, look, after 5 years, things change so fast. Santiago says, me encanta Linux. Doing good, very good. Pizza says the Ultimate Edition is $40 for Zorin. Is it? It's still worth it. I really love what they did with the GNOME desktop, and that it's more user friendly, and it's been completely stable in my tests. So yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, and now they're coming out with Zorin laptops. That's a plus.
I think Zorin laptops would actually end up being something that could really drive a push to market.
They have a shot because Zorin has been around 10 years and they've proven themselves.
Yeah, and Zorin, it's not my cup of tea, but it is a very good distro for new users.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's not something I would use there because I've gone beyond that type of a distribution. But that GNOME desktop looks good. They got a few extensions, not a lot, just to make it more user-friendly. It's still heavy, like resources, but it looks gorgeous. It really does. They did it right, I wish Zorin the best of luck. Zorin team from, I think they're from Ireland. I wish you best of luck. Yeah.
Yeah, they do use the euro. So.
2x2 says, and Tinfoil says, Tinfoil as in Switch's tinfoil hat. He says, I played it with the new Pop OS. It's cute, but kind of sluggish. It's GNOME. GNOME still has a way to go in terms of resource efficiency, but it has gotten a lot stable. I think Ubuntu has proven it. I mean, I have it in my older laptop with 3 gigs and it crawls. Even with 3 gigs, it crawls. But is it stable? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
K2LED says, any guess which Linux OS would work best with a touchscreen IdeaPad? That's a Lenovo. I don't know, K2.
The two systems that run very well with touchscreen support right now are GNOME and Plasma. So those two have built-in touchscreen support built in already. depending on the specs, I'd probably try Plasma first because it runs a lot lightweight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm running Plasma on my computer and Calculate Linux, and I'm loving it.
Okay.
Yeah, Plasma's a great desktop, and I've got
It's
it
sharp.
the way I want.
I probably would not recommend it for newbies, but it is sharp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anarita, hello, darling. Does the Chromebook?
Hello, Anarita.
Can you install APK Android? Yeah, it's ready to go. Android app. I was able. Speaking of APK, I installed. I got an email from Amazon. Would you be willing to answer a few questions about the tablet? I'm like, sure. But somebody asked me, can they run Google Play games and something else on this Amazon Fire 8? Well, it does not support the Google Play Store when you first buy it. However, you install 4 APKs in this thing, and you have to follow the instructions exactly, or you could brick it, from what I heard. I did that, and yes, you can run Google Play applications on this from the Google Play Store, and it seems okay. And that's why I like this Fire tablet, because it has the Fire OS, the Amazon App Store, and of course all the Amazon stuff. Like I said, I bought 2 Kindle books for $10. One is a James Bond book and something else I can't think of the title. And I'm actually reading again. Imagine that. So, and the 2 speakers on that tablet rock. So yeah, just like they rock on the Chromebook. So I'm recommending what I have. So check out the Fire Tab 8, not the 7, the 8, and the Acer Chromebook. You're welcome, K2LED. Yeah. Again, if we have any newbies watching, please do stop by and say hello. Check out Switch to Linux's channel too if you haven't already. So, yeah, I'll let you guys know when I do that live stream with that Chromebook, and we can talk about it. So.
PC Linux. I am stuck here on the login screen, and apparently the keyboard is not capturing.
Uh-oh. Is this in a VirtualBox?
Yes.
Okay, and I did a full install of my test, and it ran okay.
Yeah, the mouse seems to be capturing. I have keyboard is keyboard settings. You'll see keyboard is auto capturing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I haven't used it in over a year, Switch, so I can't help you on that one.
Yeah, I'm just wondering the keyboard that's not capturing, and how can I test that? Any ideas?
Yeah. I haven't played with it, Tom. So
no, I think it's a virtual machine is not capturing the keyboard.
That's my guess. Yeah.
That's my guess too. Actually, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Actually, though, because I'm getting an indication that caps lock is on when I turn caps lock on. So
that's really weird.
So obviously, it is capturing the keyboard.
Maybe
Lee Jones has a question. What's the best antivirus software for a laptop or tablet? Are we talking Windows-based, I'm assuming? The one that comes built in with Windows, that's pretty much all I use for now. I think it's sufficient. There are others out there like AVG, Antivir.
Malwarebytes is pretty good.
Malwarebytes. Yeah, the one that comes pre-installed with Windows,
Windows Defender is.
I was going to say Windows Destructor.
Everybody's favorite. But...
Yeah, Windows Defender works, or Windows Destructor. Oh. No,
Destructor.
That time it sounds. I use Windows Destructor. No, but Windows Defender's fine, Lee Jones, and Windows. That's pretty much all I use. Yeah. No, Windows 10 is probably the most secure, not the most private, but the most secure Windows out there. In terms of malware. Now privacy, throw it out the window, but yeah. There's another one, antivirus, that's good. I think it's called Avast. If I had to pick one that's I've had tested over the years, that's solid. But yeah, the one that comes pre-installed with Windows, as long as it's not a pirated copy, Lee, something that you bought, official refurb, the one that comes with it, Windows Defender. Keep it updated, and Windows is very good at updating, as you know. You should be okay. They also have a built-in anti-ransomware that you can turn on. It does slow down the system somewhat, but that's good too. That's right, Anarita. I have been watching the new Ancient Aliens, and I love it because that hairdo guy, that host with the 220 volt hairdo, is on Giorgio. You know, you know what I mean? He's zapped. Giorgio, he's Greek, I think. Giorgio Tsoukalos, 220 volt hairdo. You know, they have all these conventions like Linux conventions of with ancient aliens, but they're all out west. They're not around here. You know. But yeah, I've been watching Ancient Aliens, Anarita, and there's something else that's good too. It's called, what is it called? Unidentified, about those Navy pilots coming forward, seeing what they've seen, trying to keep up with these objects in their fighter jets, and no chance. I think it's called Unidentified. So check that out.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, Stevie boy, ba 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 boo.
Bye, Big PP.
Say OPP.
Oh, is it getting cold in Australia now, Vince? That fast?
I know. He's got the hat on. Like
he's just call him Tim. He's now Tim Pool for a while.
No, Vince is just a cool dude.
Yep. No.
Oh well.
Yeah, I guess I'm
like
not
Christmas.
Linux today.
Have you tried just restarting the VM, Tom?
Yeah, a couple
Yeah,
times.
restart the VM. Yeah.
I dropped down to windowed mode so I can see all the status. It does indicate the keyboard is captured.
Oh my god.
You know what? Let me try booting it into safe mode, though. Let me try that.
That would be the weirdest thing to have to install a Linux distro through safe boot.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Newbies who want to try Linux, don't use a virtual machine. There's too many variables. Get a separate machine. ThinkPads are
I don't know.
great.
It depends. If your system is spec, I mean,
No.
understand this. I'm trying this out over here because PC Linux, like Void Linux and Clear Linux, are very finicky with virtual machines. It just has to do with these particular ones.
I'm just telling newbies to stop them from saying that Linux sucks. Just try it on a separate machine, full install of Linux. And if it doesn't work, then you can say it sucks. But not in a virtual box.
Not in a virtual machine.
Yes.
No.
That's right. That's the law. It's got to be in a separate full install.
It's got to be on a
ThinkPads are
separate
great.
computer.
Yeah.
That's why.
Hello, Don McCulloch. Hello, Gnostic.
No.
Yeah. You got to do a full install. That's the only way to be sure. Now, if it works in a ThinkPad or whatever, and you want to experiment with other distros in a virtual box, go for it.
Go right ahead. Yeah. I mean, if you want to install something on your other machine, like a ThinkPad or a whatever, go ahead. And then if you want to toy around and play with something, go ahead. That's their own discretion.
Don does not agree. He thinks the opposite of true. Physical machines vary greatly, whereas a VM, you can set it up and you have a higher chance. For me, it's been the opposite, Don.
If you know what you're doing with the virtual machine, I'd say the virtual machine is better in many ways. Although I wouldn't make a final determination based exclusively.
Just not for a newbie, though. There's just too many variables, right? Yeah.
There is too many. There's too much to consider, yeah.
Last question, do the free VPN work? That's a security question for Switch. Free VPNs work?
Generally, I would say don't use a free VPN.
Okay.
Because just like a free social network, a free service, if you're not paying for it, you are the customer.
Yeah, I'd recommend private internet security or something paid versus using a free privacy option.
By the way, if anybody isn't on the social net platform MeWe, join it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I believe they are more private than Facebook, and I love it. Easy to use. They make their money selling add-ons, and that's perfectly fine. But I like MeWe a lot. So.
Yeah, and something I want to bring up. My birthday is next month on the 16th, and and I'm going to be having my Mac Pro for my birthday.
No, you get little Mac Pros, and that's so sweet.
Oh man! I heard Steve.
You're a traitor, Ben. You're buying Macs.
Good one, Toss.
Well, I'm logged in as root.
You logged in as root, Tom?
I wanted a safe mode. It boots to a command prompt.
Oh,
Let's start X. It booted me in as root. Okay.
Try the command prompt root canal, because that's what this is starting to feel like now.
dang.
Appears though I do not have internet and I do not have audio.
Oh, God.
Which is potentially because I'm logged in as root. All right, let me try logging out. Okay, let's see what my login screen looks like now. Oh, it just drops me out to root. All right.
I am so glad I don't deal with these issues anymore. How do I solve this puzzle?
Oh,
That puzzle?
God.
Forget about it.
I don't know how he puts up with this.
Hey, this is going to be my video for tomorrow. I think I'm just going to re-release the business section of the news.
See, Switch is doing now what I did years ago, but that's how I learned, and that's fine. I just don't want to continue doing that. You know? Yeah.
It's funny how you would say that, Gen 2 Ben.
Yeah, dude.
It sounds like a Star Wars character, Obi-Wan Bentu Gen. Ben 2 or something.
Yeah.
Something like that, you know.
I tell you, Vince, distro hopping has made me really cringe.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Dreaming Wolf is in the house. But he says, but Linux is supposed to hurt. No. It's 2019. No more.
No.
It's not supposed to hurt. That's the thing, you know.
It's not supposed to.
If you're using Arch, yes.
Yeah.
But in general, Linux is no.
Booting into root, running system updates. I still didn't see the typing indication, but I typed in a password, hit enter, and I appear to be on a booting screen. It's just going to take me a minute to boot, I think. So let's see what happens. That's fun.
Okay. Again, any more Linux newbies in the chat? This is your chance to say hello, have a rant, say goodbye, have a question. That's why we are here. At least that's why I am here. I still use Windows. If you're still lost, I get it. Been there, done that. So stop by and say hello. If you just want to stop by and say Linux sucks, that's okay. But at least explain why it sucks. The less Linux hurts, the easier it'll be for more people to adopt it. Right, Don? Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you can say some Linux hurts, or Linux is harder for newbies, but look, if we just say flat out Linux is supposed to hurt, yeah, let me tell all those billion Windows users, hey, come on over to what hurts.
What is up with this Mac looking icon here? Hold on, let me switch over.
Oh, yeah.
Where's that? Here it is.
That looks like a dang Finder icon.
Smiling Mac icon.
Tom's cursed.
What, Mac?
Yeah, you've got a Mac curse going on here.
Apparently. What is this PC Linux OS crap?
Oh, Lord.
Hey, I had it for a year. My ThinkPad was stable as a full install. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not an expert on PC Linux. So I believe, but they are based in the USA, so good for them. I believe they're based in Texas. Jonathan says, so what's the best way to update to Debian Buster? I don't know. I believe terminal commands. Off the top of my head, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jonathan. I haven't used Debian in a while. But I believe I did updates, upgrading through the terminal, but I forget exactly top of my head. This is Linux newbies, man. I don't want to tell newbies, just go straight to the terminal. Unless it's the Orlando International Airport terminal. That's a beautiful terminal, yeah. Linux may hurt, but it's still less painful than Win 10. That depends on which Linux. Yeah. Oh.
This is true.
Yeah, that depends. They're releasing Avengers again, Lee Jones. Why? I didn't see it. I'm not into those kinds of movies, but oh.
Hey Steve, did your Windows 10 update finish okay?
Yeah. I clipped this to my shirt so I wouldn't get muted. And I actually just started talking about the
Linux
darn
newbies,
thing.
welcome to the professionals. Except
was
this
a
guy, I don't know this guy.
Fantastic, dramatic pause.
I was just talking. I was like, no one's responding to me.
Here we
why
practice
am I-
lip
why am I
reading.
Here.
It's like those kung fu. I want to kick your.
So actually, the Windows 10 update went without a hitch, but lasted over 90 minutes.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And in my Chromebook, I don't notice it. In fact, I really thought it wasn't doing it until I had to go in the settings and checked, and it was up to date.
Interesting. I can't change the display resolution.
Even with the command.
I'm gonna have to buy an extra frying pan.
Try with the command line. The biggest challenge I'm having with the command line is the screen's resolution for my monitor size isn't in my list, so I have to pick something else.
If you just type XRNR by itself, it'll tell you all the available resolutions.
Right, give that a try then. Oh my lord, what are you? Oh, this system sucks. I'm telling you. I know you liked it before.
Bye, newbies.
I'm telling you what.
I will remain neutral. I call it as I see it. I cannot tell a lie. But,
hey, I call it as I see it too. I'm using the new version.
But you got a virtual box. I did not do that, so you're not calling it like I did it.
All right, let's see.
So, Carmine, did you see the post I put on to you on MeWe about the Android installing Linux on Android, and they installed Ubuntu Mate?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
No, Vince, it doesn't work. It just keeps reverting back to the old 800 by 600.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so here you go. Watch this awesome stuff here. Right? XRandR. Boom. Revert. Oh, boy.
See, Tom is pretending to be a Linux newbie. That's why we're trying to make you feel comfortable. Yeah.
Such a noob.
I love this song. It's sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm blue. That's why I don't use Gen 2. Diddle diddle do.
Did you wait till Ben left?
No, I just realized he's gone. That joke was for him, but I know. Guess he had to go. I have noticed that like he'll just go, he'll come on, then he just like without saying goodbye, but that's okay. I know he says these newbies. Where?
Oh, gee.
In many ways, we're all still newbies.
We never stop learning.
Experienced noob.
Well, my first Chromebook, I'm a newbie on the Chromebook, Time is it? Almost 11. Let me go see if I can track down some news and nonsense. I normally do these with Stephanie, but she's flying back today to the States, so be with her family. So we haven't done one in a few weeks. I hope to get her back for a live news nonsense, maybe a little concert from her, maybe some new stuff. We'll see. Stephanie, if you watch this, you probably won't. You're going to be busy, but hello. Lee Joe says Chromebooks suck. Okay, you're allowed to say that, but you got to explain why. Come on, we're all here to learn. Hello, Sky Bear. I took care of Crazy Cat. I cleaned out the Cadillac trunk today. Don't worry about it. No.
You gave the Crazy Cat some concrete galoshes.
Disrespectful, to the family, to the Ubuntu family. I was loving it. Last Father's Day, they had the Godfather Part 1 and 2 on. I'm like, there's my dad. I remember. He's right there. It was awesome. 40 years later, it's so resonant today, isn't it? It's all about corruption and politics and being bossy. Nothing's changed. Like instead of guns, now we got the power of the pen. That's how they whack you, yeah. But still a classic movie. I won't forget. Let me see if I can find some news nonsense. Again, if we have any newbies, stop by and say hello. So Lee, come on, you said Chromebook sucks. Why? Maybe you're right. But you got to tell me why. People have had a lot of problems with them. Really? I don't know. I haven't seen that on Amazon. Unless people are buying them thinking that they perform in a way that the machines were not designed to do. It's possible.
Yeah, I know my cousin ordered a bunch of them for his business, and then he sent them all back because they needed an internet connection. He wanted something good to take in the field, and it's like you just can't take it out for a mobile device.
Okay, that I don't know. I mean, they're web centric for now, unless Google changes that. For what they do, they're awesome. Yeah.
They might have changed by now. Are they now?
They do work offline.
Yeah. Now they do. Yeah.
At that time, they didn't.
Yeah. No, at the time, no. But
they
now,
do work.
They do.
Yeah. No, maybe that's all I know is they're the hottest selling Linux powered machine right now on Amazon. The good or bad, that's what they are. And mine works fine the way it's, even though it's a low powered machine, multiple apps, multiple windows, it's kind of sluggish, but for 2 gigs of RAM, it ain't going to do that much multiple work. But they are reliable. And look, they wouldn't sell if they were junk. That's how I see it. So, all right, if I can track down some news nonsense. The terminal in Chromebook, it's called Crosh, as in Chrome OS. The first thing came to mind was crotch.
Oh.
I don't know why. I used the crotch terminal.
Just kick it in the.
just hey, we're just kicking in the. But it's called seriously CROSH. Yes, and it does have a HDMI port, which is I haven't tested that yet. I'm sure it works, but that's awesome. Very user-friendly machine. Yeah. I just wish it had a USB-C versus a proprietary charging thing, but the higher ones do have it. Crush for me made me think of Crush like the orange soda. I was nowhere thinking that way. No. Lee Jones says, you guys are great. Thank you, I am. Yes. Oh, you mean these guys? Oh, sorry, okay. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Lee. That's very kind of you. Is that like Credge, the Chromium-based Edge browser in Windows? I have no idea. All right, let me see if I can find news and nonsense. And keep your questions coming if you have any questions. And especially for all the newbies out there. I know you're watching, Linux newbies. There's more of you out there being shy. Okay. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, it was so beautiful today. The weather was like San Diego weather.
Oh,
dry. Yeah. It's still not quite swimming. I want to go swimming. It's kind of a trade-off, but man, it was gorgeous. I think tomorrow we might get one more nice day. Then, let's see here. Veterinarians remove 19 pacifiers from bulldog's stomach. I don't know why, but okay.
Oh, Tom read that one today.
Oh, okay.
That was funny.
Wow. There's a law in Texas. Hang on a second. Michigan man wins 2 big Keno jackpots in 2 weeks. Boy, what are the odds of that? Man fits 146 blueberries in his mouth for Guinness record. Pfft. I guess he was feeling blue. A lizard stows away.
I did just swap cameras.
Okay, that's what I thought, yeah. A lizard stows away in a suitcase for a 2,000-mile trip. Okay. Where's that one with the weird laws? I did that with Stephanie a few weeks ago. Some of those laws are outrageous. Where are you? If I can find it here. Hello, Colin. I saw you jump on. Oh, where are you? This was a funny one. A drunk pig fights cow before passing out after downing 18 cans of beer.
Well then.
Ooh. Now, was that an actual pig or describing a man who's a pig? But wow. Now, of course, the question is, what kind of a party where the guy or the girl gives a pig a beer? Oh man. What's up, Colin? Wow. Anyway, what else do we have here? Dolphins join a surfing class in California. Nice. Oh, where is the laws? Is this it here? Or maybe it's this one. I think it's this one. There's a law in the great conservative state in Texas, and I'm probably going to be demonetized anyway, because half of these live shows are. So, I'm accepting bribes, super chats. Where is that law? See if I can find it. I think it's on this page, but let me go to the Texas one. Again, this is somewhat adultish, but of all the states, Texas. Let me see here. Where are you? I gotta scroll down. By the way, palm reading and fortune telling is forbidden in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Okay. Where are you? There's one for Ohio where I live, if I can find it. Let me scroll down some more. In New York, cheating on your spouse is illegal in New York. Only in New York? So the other states are having more fun? You think it should be illegal everywhere, but what do I know? In North Carolina, stealing over $1,000 worth of used restaurant grease is a felony. I didn't know that was a problem. Talk about a grease job.
I think people can put it in their cars.
Okay.
In diesel cars.
Oh, here's the one for where I live. If you lose your pet tiger in Ohio, you have to alert the authorities within the hour. Honey, where's the tiger? Honey, where's the tiger?
Well, there's actually, in Ohio, there's actually a reason for that, if you don't believe it or not.
Go ahead.
The reason is Ohio has almost no laws about exotic animals, which means most states it would be illegal to own a tiger. Ohio, you can pretty much own anything you want. So they passed some laws to say, if your crazy, wild, bloodthirsty animal has escaped, please report it.
Okay. All right. Another state just across the river for me, Pennsylvania. Convicted felons cannot. You cannot play bingo.
At least it wasn't the moronic Pennsylvanian Christian guy calling for the end of bad omens and sent the petition to the wrong company.
God.
I looked that guy up. I'm like, oh, Lord,
okay.
Pennsylvanian.
Here's the one in Texas. I'm going to get demonetized, but okay, here we go. In the great conservative state of Texas, it is illegal to own more than 6 dildos.
Oh. Oh.
My grandma wasn't broken the laws.
Is it late night enough, Toss? Is it
I think so.
channel?
I think
Oh,
so.
God.
I think so.
Midnight Sun.
But wait. Let me dive into this. I mean, let me explain this some more. I thought Texas was conservative. I guess they're more liberal than we think. And how do you test this? All the senators in Congress, honey, is 5 enough? No, honey, 1 more. Oh, okay, well, that's the law. I mean, really? How do you test it?
Well, now I know where the restaurant grease goes.
Oh.
Ew.
Well, today when Tom was talking about the rooster found in the truck, I was gonna say he got caught with his driving with his cock out. Oh. Sorry, I held that back. He was too many kids in the
And I
time.
appreciate it.
I couldn't quite figure out what you meant at the time.
There was a.
Oh, I'm tired. Sorry.
There was. Thank God this is late. And I want to get demonetized. That's all right.
Everybody, send your super chats to Toss.
Yeah, please do, because I'll be demonetized for the rest of the year. But I don't care. I'm in a good mood. It was a good day. I saw the sun. No, but our good President Trump says we were against Iran. He says our military was cocked and loaded. It's locked and loaded, Mr. President. And number 2, that is a porno movie. That is the title of a porno movie. A gay porno movie. Look it up. Moving on.
All these new users, what the heck is going on?
I know. Well, there's no more
love it.
Linux newbies watching, so I
They
figure,
love
what the
it.
hell, Yeah, we just want to tell Linux newbies it's not all dull and boring on these channels.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know. But it is late. Look, Anna Rita's a lady. She's having a blast, right? She approved it. No.
Well, she heard 6 and smiled.
I know. She's probably going, in Vermont. This is why politics sucks. In Vermont, it is illegal to take off your clothes in public. I kind of agree. But if you get naked at home and then leave the house, it is perfectly fine.
All right.
I knew Vermont was weird when I was there, but
this is another adult. I can't say that one. I have to draw the line somewhere. So this is in Virginia. Again, okay, I can't say that one. I'm going to have to move on. You're welcome, Anna Rita. The yes. Mm-hmm. In the great state of Washington, you may be fined for harassing Bigfoot. Oh, man.
well, I went there to harass my son. No.
But hey, look, I got big feet. I wear a 13 quadruple E wide foot, so,
And my son's up there.
Okay. West Virginia, here we go, just across the river. Roadkill may be taken home for supper. Supper, not supper. Supper. I guess that's not really that outrageous. Okay. Meh. Okay. Does Bigfoot even exist? I'm going to guess yes. There's a species out there we haven't seen yet, but cannot prove it, Anna Rita. In Wisconsin, it is illegal for the government to ban flushable urinals.
And we're thankful. Very thankful.
In Wyoming, it is illegal to sell junk to a drunk.
I believe it.
Oh, man. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Did I miss anything? Let me go back. I think there was one more that was oddball news. In Utah, no keggers can be thrown in Utah because it is illegal to possess a container of a beer larger than 2 liters. A lot of partying going on there.
No, there's not a lot of partying. That's the problem.
Tennessee, another conservative state. It is illegal for anybody to run for public office if they ever participated in a duel. Ole! Duelists shall not hold office. Again, I didn't know that was a problem there. In South Dakota, it is illegal to fall asleep in a cheese factory.
Okay.
Hey, honey, pass the cheese. Okay. What else?
So in Pennsylvania, when you drive your car down a dirt road, you're supposed to stop every mile and shoot up a flare.
In Oklahoma, again, I didn't know that was a problem. It is illegal to trip a horse or wrestle a bear.
But can you trip a bear or wrestle a horse?
I guess you can. There was one more that was outrageous if I can find it. This is from the state of New Mexico. This is what I agree with. Idiots are not allowed to vote.
Well, someone broke a lot of laws.
I guess so. Anyway, that's it for the laws.
I was gonna look up. I got a list of dumb laws from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
All right.
Don McCullough, illegal to wrestle with Chuck Norris. Yeah. Alexis has some very good Chuck Norris jokes lately. The Chuck Norris, when Chuck Norris goes on a motorcycle, the motorcycle wears the helmet. That was a good one. Anyway. All right, I'm probably going to wrap this up here at 11:30 in 10 minutes. Again, if we have any Linux newbies out there, we normally talk about Linux, and we have. If you have a question, stop by and say hello.
Oh, boy. Contrary in Pennsylvania law to discharge a gun, cannon, revolver, or other explosive weapon at a wedding.
Okay.
All right. And it is also illegal to have over 16 women live in a house together because that constitutes a brothel.
Again, how do they test it? Honey, is 15 okay? No, that's too many. Okay.
Motorized vehicles are not to be sold on Sundays. Maybe that's why all the car dealers are closed to the weekend.
In Florida, they are open, or they were open.
Oh, I remember this one. It is illegal to sleep on top of a refrigerator outdoors.
That is so cold. Ha ha.
Oh.
What about...
You may not catch a fish with your hands. I mean, what if you're really starving? I mean,
there was a law, this is the one I did with Stephanie. In some state, it is illegal to defend yourself against a bird. Or it is illegal to hit a bird in self-defense, and this includes missiles or any throwable object. Yeah, where's my rocket launcher? Yeah.
So not only can you not catch a fish with your hands, you cannot catch a fish with any body part except your mouth.
Colin says Chuck Norris once dug a hole with a spoon. It's now called the Grand Canyon. That's one for Colin. I like that one. Yeah.
All right. How's this for you housewives out there? A special cleaning ordinance bans housewives from hiding dirt and dust under a rug in a dwelling.
Jeez. And Arita's having a good time.
You may not sing in the bathtub?
That's the best time.
I'm telling you.
You know, in Chicago, it's illegal to give a dog whiskey.
What a horrible thing to call your wife. No, I'm just kidding. But about... Not your wife, Steve, just wives in general. That's not what I meant.
Oh, we also have the may not become a governor if you have participated in a duel.
That's right.
We just have governor, though. We can other public offices are fine.
I sing in the shower sometimes. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yes. This would definitely affect me in living as close to Amish country as I do, especially since I need to drive through it to hit one of my business banks. Mm-hmm. Any motorist who sights a team of horses coming towards them must pull well off the road and cover his car with a blanket or canvas that blends with the countryside and let the horse pass by. It's late, huh? There's an interesting Allentown law. There's a ban on men becoming aroused in public.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of those guys aren't up to it in Allentown.
Here you go. This is an Illinois law. It's illegal to speak English. The officially recognized language is American.
What? Say what? Say what? Wow. There was one law, I think in Rhode Island or Delaware, it is illegal to whisper in church. So what, you gotta yell, hey pal, you mind telling your wife to stop farting? Jesus, so sticky in here. What a law. You cannot whisper in church. What is the opposite of whispering?
You're supposed to talk really loud in church. Yeah. Come on.
Do you have a tissue?
See, here's a weird Wyoming law that's actually not a weird law. It says any person who fails to close a fence is subject to a fine of up to $750. The reason for that is because Wyoming is majority BLM land, and the livestock roam around. And there's a lot of places where anybody can go in, pull off the road, open a gate, go through. You have to close the gate to prevent the livestock from meandering onto the road. Mm-hmm. So they say this is a weird law, but it's actually not because of the culture in Wyoming.
Yeah, Lee, I can't believe some of these laws either. I mean, it's I don't know.
Oh, I've got a weird Australian law for Colin.
Okay.
It is an offence to possess 50 kilograms of potatoes in Western Australia.
What?
Well, I'm pretty sure I broke this law when I lived in Wyoming. You may not take a picture of a rabbit from January to April without an official permit.
Yeah, a little wascally wabbit beep beep. Wow.
Although I think that one was a jackalope, so I think I'm safe.
Anna sings in the shower. Good for you.
See, the shower, there was nothing about shower. It just said bathtub.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if you're considering that also. I mean, I'm guessing you shower in the bathtub, so I'm guessing it counts. But I don't know.
I love Oh, solo Ubuntu, la 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 la. No.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, solo mio.
Doors were pounded down because the Gestapo's coming to get you.
Oh, yes, Peabody, our crazy country. I agree. Anyway, I'm looking at the ticker feed, see if any other piece of news is breaking. So those of you who missed this at the beginning, you can replay it when YouTube stops processing this Linux newbies. Number 2. Now I have to recut my grass tomorrow in the back because it's so uneven. It looks like crap, and I'm so mad. It's almost like Mother Nature this month says, hey humans, F you, cut it twice.
I think my plants are not growing because I've gotten too much water.
Peabody says, just don't sing an Arnold accent, yeah. Oh, solo to me. I can see Arnold singing that song. I'm too sexy for my...
Wait. What's the lyrics to that go? I'm too sexy for my what?
I'm too sexy for my car, too sexy by far. I'm too sexy for my shirt, it hurts.
I'm too sexy for my car. No, that's not going to work right. I got to start with the regular Arnold thing. I'll be back.
I'll be Max.
I'm too sexy for my gun. I'm too sexy for my predator.
There we go. Good one.
Everything.
That's right. That's right. It's a good one. There's an old joke when Arnold was governor of California, the governor, and Meet the Press. They would travel and do interviews, and Arnold says, "Good to be here. This is not Meet the Press. This is Press the Meet."
No.
Classic.
This was funny when he filmed Kindergarten Cop. He only made one requirement to film it. They had to build a gym in Astoria so he could keep working out.
Okay, well, I guess
Now, to be fair, they actually had Terminator 2 was his next movie on schedule, so it's very possible he just needed to stay buff for that. So, but that was his only concession. They had to build a gym in the town so he could keep working out during the film set.
Well, good for him. He's health conscious. I can't say I blame him. Lee Jones asks, when do you guys normally stream? I believe Switch has got the normal schedule out of all of us. Yeah.
My schedule is Wednesday is 6 p.m. all Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Thursday 7, Friday 9 p.m. and Saturday 12:30 p.m.
I'm usually on the weekends, Lee, like Friday or Saturday nights for both sometimes. Then throughout the week, just if you haven't already, subscribe and then hit that notification bell. But Switch,
I think I did not examine this, but I think they've actually changed some of the notification settings where there is now a new setting where you can literally say notify me of every channel.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of creators were complaining that people were hitting the bell and people still were not being notified. So I think they actually fixed that. But you have to go in and turn it on in your settings. I haven't investigated it, but I don't use notifications at all. So but that's what I've heard it's there. So
notifications tend to work for me for the most part, at least on my phone. I don't know. But Lee Jones says, "Do you think the Earth is flat?" You know what, Lee? I am tired of falling off of it. I keep buying parachutes. I'm running out of cash to buy them. No, I do not think the Earth is flat. Yeah.
I do. I mean,
I guess Pennsylvania sells some good. Yeah.
No, we got a medical dispensary up the way.
That's perfectly legal. Yes, you can do what you want with it. Yeah. Lee says you're done with questions. Okay.
Keep them coming, Lee.
Keep them coming, Lee. Yeah, it's a good question.
Hey, Esnix.
Esnix, what's up? I actually had to reinstall Linux Mint mod. I'll tell you one of my ThinkPads. I kept booting to a blank screen. What I had to do is downgrade to the previous kernel. And that fixed it. I deleted I went to the Synaptic Package Manager, searched Linux-image, and deleted the higher ones. That way it only has that one kernel, and I solved it. But see, that's something a Linux newbie wouldn't know.
Why don't change my kernel much?
Yeah. Normally you don't have, but for some reason, anyway. But that hasn't happened like in years. It's kind of weird, but yeah.
I do have one of these Linux builds that does not like to boot. You are Debian, so you must be just you. I think one of the things Linux Mint seems to do is it seems to there's like a lot of temporary files or something that gets added somewhere, and it fills up the hard drive. And that prevents it from updating or from booting, and then you get a black screen from that. This one does not look bad, but I know there's a problem in it.
Steve, are you still using that Chrome OS?
I use it from time to time. I don't the Chromium, the Neverwhere.
Okay.
I like it, but it's not like a daily driver. I mean, it would almost easily replace a tablet. It's just really quick. I mean, it starts up right away. It shuts down like even faster than a Thanos snap. You know, it's just boom.
I counted 7 seconds on mine. It's incredible. Yeah, and I love the background updates. It gets out of your way.
Yep.
So very impressive. Very impressive. If I could afford to buy the Pixel Book, man, I could just imagine how fast that thing is, you know. And it doubles as a tablet. It has a 360, and you can fold it and stands up. That would be cool. But, you know, Chromebooks are great. Yeah, they're awesome. If they would make it like a regular desktop with multimedia applications and more offline applications, like a built-in, you know, video rendering or video editor, I could see it as a national desktop, no problem. It just works, yeah. Steve, are you on tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna be on tomorrow morning,
okay.
8 o'clock Central Time.
Okay. I want to see if I can finish my grass tomorrow, because it's gonna be sunny.
Yeah, we had a little rain tonight.
Did you?
Of course, right when I was starting to cook dinner, I had the grill going.
Oh, jeez, good timing.
Just as I spread out the coal, and I'm like, "Oh, you kidding me, right?" But it didn't last too long.
Okay, that was perfect here today. Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
San Diego weather. Just I remember it's sunny, dry. It was beautiful. Awesome. I actually went out to a local restaurant here. One of my friends owned it. It's called Scaffidi's. Beautiful Italian. Hey, go for the Scaffidi. No, but they have an outdoor patio. You can sit. So I figured, you know what? It's going to be nice. People are going to get out. You know, so I went out, had a beer and some fries just to chill. And I'm thinking, I'm sitting here and there's a bunch of guys and married folks and no girls. So I had one beer, had my fries, and I left. Because I'm not a drink. I can't sit there and drink and start talking like Arnold after 2 minutes, 2 hours. And that's why I went on live. There was no one there to talk to. At least no girls to talk to. So I left. A cute bartender. But anyway.
Yeah, I was out with my buddy Joe, who's been on with me a couple of times, and we went out. They opened up a new place in his area that is one of those. They call it Good Beers, and they have like 100 beers on tap.
Good beers, nice.
And I had 4 beers last night, 4 different beers. It's like
really?
that was this morning was a little rough.
Yeah.
I don't do that too
much.
The
most I've had. Maybe 2 beers. But see, I always drive, so I try to limit myself to 1 drink, maybe 2. But that depends on what kind of drink. Like if I go out and have a tall white Russian drink, that thing hits you, man, after like halfway, But since I normally drive, usually 1 drink and that's it for me, But like I said, even if I wasn't driving, I can't just sit there and drink. That's not fun.
I got to get him online again. He was telling me a very interesting story. He used to be an engineer for Motorola. He helped design their first couple of cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
But he had left Motorola and had become a salesman. And I guess it's right before Android really got popular. Mm-hmm. He was working for this Japanese company that was actually working on designing Linux for the phone.
Nice.
And he said that he was listening to like the Android people, and they were very confident in that. And he told his people, like, we got to do what Android's doing, And they said, "What are you, crazy?" That company he worked for went out of business a few years later.
Oh, that sucks.
But very interesting story it was.
Henrietta says, in my single youth, I liked Russians too. Haha. What did I buy here? On my Kindle book, or my Kindle, or my tab, I bought the James Bond book called Carte Blanche, which is awesome read, by the way. It's cute because they called Bond, this is like an updated version of Bond, and a smartphone is called the IQ phone, because of the character Q, IQ. That was clever. And I also bought... This doesn't sound what you think, but this is called... The next one I bought is called The Backdoor Man. It's a technology thriller. I bought that too, so I love my tablet. This actually runs faster than I thought it would. 1.5 gigs of RAM. With my trade-in, I paid $33 for this tablet. So,
Nice.
yeah. So now I'm reading again. Normally at night, help me fall asleep. But that James Bond read's a good, fun read. So, stories like the James Bond books, I have a ton of them. Like a ton of the newest stories. It's fun because as I read, like if there's an action sequence coming, I like to predict what's going to happen. Like, what if I was writing this, kind of like a movie? I like to predict in my mind what's going to happen, And there's a scene where the bad guys are trying to derail a train full of chemicals, and James Bond finds a way, or somebody else finds a way to save the day. I won't give it away if you buy the book, but I thought it was clever. I wasn't expecting that, so I can see that as a movie. It's called Carte Blanche.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Clive Cussler's novels with Dirk Pitt.
I've heard of them. The James Bond novels. They've had quite a few guys fill in after Fleming passed away years ago. Since the 80s, they've continued the stories. Quite a few great titles. Carte Blanche, I think, is a great title. Scorpius, Nobody Lives Forever, No Deals, Mr. Bond. That's a title of a James Bond book. It's awesome. Yeah, they've done a good job keeping that genre alive, And now they're working on the next Bond movie with Daniel Craig. Lee Jones likes Old Man in the Sea. Yeah. That's not a Bond book, but I've heard of that one.
Some good reads are Robert B. Parker, oh God, why do I go blank on this? Detective novel kind of. I'll get back to you.
Anna's reading The Secret Diaries of Miss Ann Lister.
Spencer, that's it.
Not familiar with that one, Anna. All right, let's give this 5-minute warning that I really need to wrap this up. So those of you who came in late and want to watch the replay of this, especially if you're new, or if you're not new, check it out. We had some breaking news in the beginning, so check it out. If you are new to Linux, feel free anytime to stop by my channel or Steve's, or switch to Linux. And yes, those jokes, the laws by state, we don't normally talk about that kind of stuff here, but since it's late night, I've been demonetized a lot. Go for it. But it's all in fun. It's all in jest. Obviously, I mean, the laws are real. Hey, don't blame me. Blame your state if you don't like the law. Especially that one in Texas. Dear Lord. Which I need to book a flight to Texas next week. Sounds like all the fun's over there. Man, whew. Those poor single guys have no chance in Texas, man. No chance. But anyway. Might as well shut off the TV. I'm done for tonight. What do they talk about here? Oh, there's Mr. 220 Volt again. They're showing Mars. Okay. All right. Mars is a fad. They keep finding strange stuff on Mars. Still, it makes you think. I mean, if you see one or two things, yeah, but after multiple objects on Mars, it makes you think.
Did you see they found was it on the moon or was it on Mars? I think it was on the moon. The Star Trek symbols up there.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
That's a bit of a stretch. That was on Mars.
No, I mean, you saw the pictures, man. It was convincing.
Yeah. Now that I don't buy that one. Now the other stuff, I don't know.
But you'll buy aliens on Mars. I mean,
yeah.
What's more, realistic? Aliens on Mars or Star Trek colony on Mars? I mean, I think the Star Trek colony, personally. But
I think it's more cool, but yeah. I mean, it all started back in the 70s with that face on Mars that really looks like a freaking face. Now, you could say it was a freak of nature, but what are the odds? But then they found these pyramid structures around it. What are the odds? And now these Navy pilots coming forward, and there was one lady on the show, she was ready to poop her pants. She says, yeah, I was a wingman or a wing lady with a wingman running these $40 million jets, and she was scared. You know what? These people are trained to protect us. Who are you going to believe? I'm going to have to believe her, that what she saw was not part of their technology, not part of the normal stuff you see on Earth. I got to believe her. And now that they have it caught on tape or on video, and these pilots are going to look at that thing fly, and they don't have anything to match it. What am I going to say? They're lying or they're drunk? I got to believe them. So, that's how I see it. Putting aside everything else is junk, but when these Navy pilots come forward, some of these guys are not retired. They're risking their careers because they got to tell what they saw. One guy says, I have no idea what that is, but I was sure as hell would love to fly it. There's your answer. Anyway. All right, last minute here. I'm going to go to bed. Well, actually, I'm going to go read James Bond in bed, then go to bed. So yeah, I'll let you guys. I'll probably do a follow up to the Amazon tablet that I bought, maybe like a Q&A, question answer thing. And then as I get a little more comfortable with the Chromebook, I'm going to test the live stream on the Chromebook, unlisted on YouTube, see if it's fast enough. Then we'll see what happens. But hopefully it'll be just enough horsepower in that thing to do a live one. But that battery life blows me away. It's all day, literally all day. And I've been using it. There was that one that had it on all day, playing music, streaming music, watching videos. I mean, it was on all day. Very impressive. Ron, the book is called Carte Blanche. It's well worth it. I think it's $9.99, $5.99. They're all different. I think it was $9. It's a Kindle book on Amazon. I've been reading the first 6-7 chapters. A fun read. The author brings Bond into the newer age, like instead of the iPhone, it's the IQ phone, stuff like that. But check it out. If you want a good fun read, that's worth the money. Check out Carte Blanche. And I'm sure that there are other good Bond books, but that one, I caught a preview and it caught my eye. Maybe listen to the movie soundtrack corresponding to the book James Bond you're reading. There's no soundtrack to the books, or at least not to this one, but that's okay. Yeah.
Did you do are you on a Kindle Unlimited, or do you just buying the books?
No, I didn't join the Kindle. No, I just bought the book. I just bought it. I don't want to join anything. I know they give you free for a month or something, which if you do a lot of reading, I think it's a great deal, just like anything else if you're going to use it. But no, I just bought them singly.
Can you use Overdrive with
I don't
the
know.
Fire, the Kindle?
I don't know.
Because Overdrive is good. It just hooks up to your library, your
Is that
local
what it is?
libraries, and local libraries have a lot of books that you can check out
Interesting.
to read. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Overdrive, and what's the other one my wife uses?
I know
Chromebook has that as an option, I think.
I
Which
know
one?
you can go online at home, right, and check it
Yeah.
out. But okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kobo does one. There is one other one. I can't remember the name. There's also audiobook. You can also do audiobook lending in libraries too.
Okay. I don't know. I'll have to try it. Maybe after I read these books. But yeah, because I mean, this is all. I don't know if you could, but it's all Amazon based. I mean, all the shortcuts.
Yeah.
I mean, they want you to buy stuff.
Yeah.
That's why these are cheap. Now it has on the lock screen. It has an ad. It shows ads on the lock screen, but like that. But see, I don't care. I mean, I buy stuff on Amazon. Now for an extra $15, you can disable the ads. But I believe there's a couple hacks. But honestly, with my trade in $33, I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, Ron. Some of the newer reads for James Bond is pretty good. Like I said, there's Carte Blanche. There was a couple others. I can't think of the name, but like I said, they'll let you download a sample and read it if you like it, and so I bought it. So, and I think it also comes in audio format for an extra, but I didn't really need that. So, I suppose if you're driving or if you drive all week, then that would come in handy to read it, to listen to it on Audible. Reading is better than TV and movies these days. You might be onto some, Andrew. I mean, like a lot of these movies, I'm not into this superhero Marvel. I mean, you've seen them all, but that's me. I don't watch it. I'd rather go see a good story, a good movie with a good true story. I saw the last Godzilla. It was fun to watch, but the story was weak, so it was kind of disappointing. But Godzilla was cool. I was rooting for him in the end. You know. So I'm waiting for a spoof of Godzilla where he's attacked by 6 monsters and Godzilla just does one big fart and they all just die. It just blows them away. Get it? You know. But anyway. Lapiro, you never read? Oh yeah, you did. I don't read as much as I used to because everything is, web-based and you can listen. But I do enjoy reading at night.
Oh, Steve.
That's one for Steve.
No, I had a hard time reading when I was like in high school, and I just couldn't read. And then my dad had all these Sherlock Holmes novels, and I just started reading them, and I got hooked.
So, what's your opinion of the movies?
They're okay movies, I really enjoyed the PBS versions of Sherlock Holmes with Jeremy Brett, I believe.
PBS stuff is cool. Mm-hmm. NPR,
especially Agatha Christie's, Hercule Poirot. I love those novels, and David Suchet did a fantastic job of portraying Poirot.
Oh, yeah, he's Jeremy
Brett was Sherlock Holmes. Arthur Downey Jr. I mean, the good action movies. I don't see him as Sherlock Holmes.
I will leave you guys with one good pickup line. Those of you who are single, go to the bar, whatever. Here's a good line. I think this is not mine, but hey, can I follow you home because my parents told me to follow my dreams?
Ouch.
What do you got to lose? Either she'll like it or she won't. But, it's kind of corny, but you never know. You just never know, Well, all right. I am out of here. So thanks everybody here who joined me live and everybody in the live chat. This was fun as always.
Thank you, Carmine.
Thanks for the invite.
This is always cool. Thanks to all the supporters who made this possible. The chat, the tablet, and the Chromebook. Thanks to all the supporters of the channel. Don't forget to check out Steve Zurion tomorrow morning. And Switch, when is your next live stream?
Wednesday, 6 p.m.
Okay. Check out Switch to Linux on Wednesday. Anna Rita says, am I single? Yes, you may ask, and yes, I am. So, Anna Rita says, no, thank you, Toss. Well, you're spoken for, Anna Rita, so I know that line's not going to work for you. You'll be like, oh, don't be silly. Well, maybe later. No, just kidding. Anyway. Thank you, Ron. This was fun.
Gnostic has been so quiet in the room.
I know. Maybe he's reading his James Bond book. He's been, I don't know, but.
I'll see you in the morning, Steve.
Okay.
Is it in the morning?
Are you sleep? Are you gonna go sleep at all today or tomorrow or whatever?
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny because I literally fell asleep on Tom's stream earlier. I was so tired.
So did you see or not see the biggest news reaction we got was in Florida, a Spider-Man was power washing a roof in the rain.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah,
I guess he really wanted to get that roof cleaned, didn't he? All right, guys, I'm out of here. If you guys want to chat, be my guest, but I am done.
Yeah,
thank you all.
All right, yeah. I got to
Okay.
clean up after dinner here.
Okay, all right. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. See you, Carmine. See you.
Bye-bye.
Vince, Room.
Take care, guys.